So remember how back in January I told you guys that I was gonna write, one song every month? Yeah, all of January went by and I had this mental roadblock where I was like, I can't finish a recording. February album writing month does exist, and it is a pretty good kick in the pants, and that's not why I have finished 3 recordings in the past 7 days. No. I finished 3 recordings in the past 7 days because I decided to stop letting my brain trick me and trick my brain instead. What is up, Yoshis? My name is Beth and I run Steadfast Ascent. So picture this. I just got home from work. It's 4 o'clock. I have a dinner engagement. It's kind of a nebulous time frame, so I arbitrarily set myself, a deadline of 5:30. 5:30 is when I'm going to be leaving for this dinner engagement. And that's not a time frame that I think of as I should make music in this time. Because, by the time I decompressed from work and whatever, it was already 4:45. So I had 45 minutes to do something. And I decided that I actually didn't have to get any recording done, but this thing was just hanging over me and I had this internal pressure to actually do something. So here's what I did with that internal pressure to actually make myself make music. Number 1. I decided to set up my environment. Now, Nerd Fitness and Thomas Frank called this concept setting up your bat cave. When Batman comes into the bat cave, he's not sitting there being like, oh, I have to set up my Batmobile so that I can use it. No, the Batmobile is already set up so that when he needs it, he just pushes a button and then boom, he can be going. And your recording situation likely needs to be the same way. So what I have started doing in the interest of trying to make this work is as soon as I get home from worship on a Sunday, I unpack my pedal board and I sit it in its place and I plug it all in so that all I have to do to start recording is plug it into my computer and start going. On this particular week, I hadn't done that, so I told myself, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna set up my pedal board. Whether I record anything on it or not, I'm just gonna set it up. I had no commitment. Absolutely no commitment to do anything. My only commitment was to setting it up so that I could record in the event that I wanted to. Because then, I could just take that off my list of excuses. It's like, I have to spend the 5 minutes trying to get ready. I took that out of the way. I had no commitment to do anything. I didn't have an agenda of, something that I had to get done. No internal pressure from my brain. Just gonna set this up. And then I decided, okay, I'm gonna see what I can do in 5 minutes. Now you have to understand, I had 45 minutes before this dinner engagement. But guess what? I set it up in a minute. Notes to future Beth, it takes a minute to do this. And then I was like, okay, well, I've still got 4 minutes left. I guess I'll record a bass line. So I just pulled down my bass and I started recording. And, before I knew it, 5 minutes was long gone, and I had 10 minutes later, a working bass line, so I started recording this working bass line and working out the different elements of the song, and by the time 30 minutes had passed, I have 15 minutes left before I have to leave, according to this arbitrary timeline I set in my head, and I have the backbone of an entire song written, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, man, why didn't I do this sooner? Why did I think I had to wait until I had the right time or the right mindset or the right mood, when all I had to do was just set the stage with my bat cave, promise myself that if I didn't feel like doing it after I had set it up, that I didn't have to do it, and then just see what I could do in 5 minutes. That's all it took. Normally songs do, I like to be able to sit down in 4-hour chunks and just bust through an entire song and record all of the parts and program all of the drums and do the vocals and all the things, but in this situation, and in many of our situations, sometimes all we have is 10 minutes. But you know what? Sometimes 10 minutes is more than enough to get done the thing that you have been putting off. So friends, tell us the one thing you're going to do for the next 5 minutes. And hopefully we won't hear you reporting back because you'll actually be finishing that project. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope to see you next time.